Folks, I ended the first part by saying that Trump is a smart Nazi because he knows and understands what stupid people want and what they like and what they will accept. And he's a Swiss Nazi Templar, and Swiss Nazi Templars are Swiss. They are killers. They love to pit things against one another to kill each other, and they like to kill also. They're killers. They're worse than the Mongolians and the Chinese and stuff. They're worse than the people that just hack you to pieces while you still carve you up, tie you out to a stake and cut your chest off, cut your personal stuff off, and cut big fillets out of all of your muscles and everything. This is what, I got photographs. I got a couple of photographs of this stuff being done to, I think it was a British or an American prisoner, and the Chinese-looking people were, man, they were filleting him, and he was alive and trying to handle it, and he tried to handle it. But anyway, these Swiss Nazi Templars enjoy taking part in the deaths of the Gentile animals, the low life forms of humanity. And that's the way they think of us and look at us and feel about us. And even, folks, they think these pharaonic people, these people think less of us than you do your house pets. They give no thought to fairness or to human underlings and the understanding of the human species as being a different type of family-oriented, peaceful, loving, caring, not conniving, not wicked, not mean. They grow up spoiled, wicked, and mean. And they are encouraged to develop these characteristics by their parents, who are human monsters with some real messed up minds. They have taken away every advantage of the human beings that they can. They love to see us sick. They love to see us unhappy. They take advantage of us, and they slay us in different ways to be murdered for their sport or their expressions between each other. They do it. It's nothing to them. It's like moving pieces on a chessboard. These people are of a worldwide family of haters. They are haters. They hate us. They hate the underling humans. They're tired of so many people, and now they're making up their own fear to consider. Like Dick Cheney replied to a CNN question about the government was doing something that could have had a bad reaction should the people find out about it, and Cheney said back to her with a chuckle, "Oh, what do the people know?" All of humanity isn't on their target list, but the majority of it is, folks. The elite human gods, just like the Black Pope and company. Y'all don't know anything about that. That is a reptilian black hybrid. I've shown photographs of it, and none of you government agents want to make any comments about it at all. You just say, "Oh, wow, man, you got that off a TV screen a long time ago? Oh, wow." Bunch of government agents. That's how it follows my channel, because my channel ain't nothing but a bullshit made-up channel anyway. There ain't no real people comes to my channel, and you fucking government agents, I know this. And I'll tell you what, I'm getting tired of it, and I think I'm going to quit it because it's not something that I feel like to do in jest anymore. I'm a little sick of it. I'm tired of it, and it's beginning to annoy me. By the aggressiveness of the United States centralized monitoring and controlling systems, many entire countries. The Swiss Octagon is clearly involved with and controlling over all of the levels of corporate powers within these other countries. The banker's muscle and the banking muscle, it's like a James Bond program in full swing. Nothing is going to stop the Swiss Octagon. You might be able to do something in a single country, but as far as worldwide, no single country can get anything going big enough to have enough good fighting people left in the other countries to join that country in any kind of way to surround and subdue the bad guys. And then divide up all of that loot that they've been ripping and robbing everybody of for all of them years, to where everybody would be good to go. You know, I'd like to be president and have the United States military at my whim. Switzerland was a connection of humans and non-humans, and these non-humans retreated mostly underground, but the mountains still contain many exits and entrances to the inner structures, the tunnels, the caverns, the caves, the cities. And folks, most who have entered these places, most humans, just wasn't ever seen again. And even the squad leaders, they wasn't seen again. There's things underneath, in the caves underneath of our feet, folks, that'll rattle your cage real good for you. But just like the research and the testing showed that the lead particulates that once were in most residential home paints, which were a resistance to the government's electromagnetic frequency waves, they have to figure out a way to handle that problem so they can control everything about you. So folks, and so the government came up with programs and employees to assist them to take the owners of millions of houses and homes and use legislature and even the police state to support and to enforce the removal of existing surfaces containing lead and to go back unleaded and aluminum free with approved home paints. And this is so all homes can be seen into. And it was even suggested to me, I have not looked this up, but I remember when I was in the Navy we used a primer called red lead. And it had lead in it, a high quantity of lead in that red lead primer paint that we used on carriers, destroyers, and cruisers and stuff. And that could have been to help keep X-rays from X-raying through the steel by the use of someone else's electromagnetic frequencies to see what was inside of the ship hull. Just a thought. I haven't researched it, but could have. I mean, I know that lead might help retard the corrosion of salt water too, but at least that's what I think I was told. Anything that causes humans to worship it is no laughing subject. Hybrids of old were cannibalistic. It was their religion. It's what they did. It was their purpose and one of their main purposes in life. Like to you, it is to breathe, it is to communicate, it is to walk, it is to talk. Well, one of their main purposes was to feed themselves, and they fed themselves on humans. They hunted and ate men, and since most women will fuck a snake, there were lots of things that were born of the Nephilim and the reptilian species. The Bible's got it twisted all around so that you can't understand who it is or what it is you're talking about and what it is or who it was that was created and made from women having sex with animals. Reptilians. Animals, anything. But when these things were born, they would attack each other. The offspring of a human woman having a reptilian baby would attack the neighbors or the baby across the valley, who was another hybrid of a different species, a different reptilian breed. Reptilians have breeds in them like humans do. Black, orange, purple, Arabs, American Indians, Swiss, whatever. So there's a lot of different kinds. And those who had powers and intelligence, their offsprings are still around. And some of them whose life expectancies and lifespans far outweigh that of a human life expectancy. Some of these creatures and these things are still around. And some of them have power. Some of them have clout amongst the ranks of humanity, if you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, then, I'll pitch you a life raft or something. But those who had power and intelligence over the human reptilian hybrids, such as mankind, because that's what mankind is. It's reptilian hybrids. And these creatures live longer than mankind, and some are alive and still active around us today. And if you doubt what I'm saying, that's just too bad. Because the one or two real people that are getting in on my channel, and you government agents, I don't give a fuck what a government agent thinks. I really don't. I don't give one fuck about what a government agent thinks. These are some of the very well-known Bible teachers today, folks. I'm going to get into something different here now. There are some very well-known Bible teachers that are now talking a whole lot about reptilians and finding scriptures that call them the fathers of cannibalism. I ain't talking about one preacher here, I'm talking about a bunch. Not just the ones that are on YouTube. But that all the offspring were cannibalistic, like I was just saying, and the reptilians, and these preachers say they are here right now with some big names coming from the inner earth, and we don't even know who they are, can't recognize them. And they do the same thing that they did as a long time ago, and they got them in some form of restraint back then. They put some hardships on them and ran them out of most areas of humanity's population. Well, they're coming back in strong. And the CERN is supposed to be one key that opens up portals and vortexes for, just as the scriptures that say Satan is as a roaring lion walking about seeking whomever he can devour. Well, that's because he's a reptilian and he eats people. And he's got lots of family, friends, and mercenaries who love him and live a long time. And a lot of them, they're supposed to be, according to the bigwig preachers, a whole bunch of them are saying that they're heading back this way. And a lot of them have some humans that's helping them out. And let me tell you, there are humans out here today, people, that will, in a deal with non-human species, will barter with the lives of 1 billion people to make a deal with a non-human species of life. There are humans with vast power that will use 1 billion humans in a deal. And if you think I'm lying to you, I can't, you're too slow. You're too slow to keep up. But it's referred to by some ministers as a time of every possible suggestion to bring in cannibalism. And look at all of the movies and the series and the talk and the stuff going on about cannibalism. But I'm going to tell you one thing. These reptilian hybrids, these creatures that were born out now, some of them look like humans, some of them are big, some of them are half human, half animal, but some of them look like all animal. And they all were bad to the bone, folks.